to the Wrestling Maniac Podcast. This is your Raw review.
Hello and welcome once again to the Wrestling Maniac Podcast. This episode, Monday Night Raw. And this is another Monday Night Raw, which is leading to their Extreme Rules pay-per-view on the WWE Network. And in 2 weeks, so we are setting the stage for Extreme Rules, which I'm not really hyped for, to be honest, because I miss ECW and the real Extreme Rules and Ruthless Aggression era, and to have Extreme Rules and no blood makes no sense to me. But let's get to this. First off, the program starts off with Bray Wyatt as he starts delivering a promo to the crowd after his iconic entrance. And he begins to talk about how he is the only one out of the 5 that is going to be participating in this 5-way Extreme Rules match at WWE Extreme Rules that will be able to slay the Beast. That Roman Reigns won't be able to do it. That Seth Rollins will not be able to do it. That Finn Balor will not be able to do it. But he is the only one, the only man that can slay the Beast. And he finally comes. He does come and comes back. He mentions Roman Reigns' name, and automatically the crowd begins to boo. And Roman Reigns comes down to the ring, and he begins to deliver a promo himself back to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is laughing along as Roman Reigns begins his promo, saying that, that he's not concerned about Extreme Rules. What he's concerned about is that Bray Wyatt is calling him out in his yard, and that Bray Wyatt needs to get out of his yard. I'm not impressed, really. At least Roman Reigns delivered, I guess, an okay promo here. I will say, then, of course, this sets up as Kurt Angle comes down and says that, okay, what we're going to do here, we're going to have a preview. It's Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt to start off the program, and we're going to have a match. And actually, this is a good way to start off Monday Night Raw. It got most of the people interested in what was going on here. I will say and point out, of course, we know that Roman Reigns is going to be the Superman, and that they're going to go back and forth and everything. But I am impressed that Roman Reigns did sell his ribs, his injury. He's still taped up. And I do like that he sold his ribs. And they went back and forth until Samoa Joe come down to the ring. Samoa Joe's music kid, of course, come down to the ring, and then he put Roman Reigns in the Coquina Clutch. And after he put Roman Reigns in the Coquina Clutch, then he let him go, and Bray Wyatt come and was going to give his sister Abigail to Roman Reigns, and then Samoa Joe ended up putting the Coquina Clutch on Bray Wyatt because Bray Wyatt gave him the sister Abigail from last week when he faced Seth Rollins. So we have all this animosity that's being built here. Then all of a sudden, then comes Seth Rollins, and they have this confrontation. And Seth Rollins runs Bray Wyatt, and Samoa Joe out of the ring. Standing was the 2 former Shield members, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, are left in the ring. And then Angle says that he's going to do something, that what they're going to be doing here is later on in the program, that what he's going to make a match is going to be a tag match between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe. And that's going to be the main event for the evening. It was pretty good writing on that part. Everybody did their part to get this going in the show, get people interested in the show. This character of Bray Wyatt, I don't know about you, but a little bit, to me, it's a little bit getting old of him constantly laughing like this Of course, he is, I guess, this crazy cult leader. And, I don't know, it's just not really connecting with me. That, he's showing all of this of who he is. And, we know at the end that Bray Wyatt is not going to, he's either going to get pinned or something of that nature is going to happen to him, So I don't know. I really didn't get with that too much about what was happening with Bray Wyatt. One thing that happened also that after this, that Elias Sampson, he has not had a TV match on Monday Night Raw, and Kurt Angle said, "Hey," he said, "you're getting my attention. You want to do something. You need to make your debut." So he gives Elias Sampson a debut, and it's going to be Elias Sampson versus Dean Ambrose. Then he just goes back to playing his guitar, and it was a good sequence, and we'll get to that match in a little bit. Then on the program there was Akira Tozawa and Avari Davari. I really didn't see. This was just we come back and the two are in the ring, so I guess they had their entrances. And we go and come out of Akira Tozawa. They're waiting for us. We see Brian Kendrick backstage watching the communications with the announcers. Kendrick says he'll be giving Tozawa some pointers tonight because he's his teacher and Tozawa is a student. The bell rings. Tozawa goes at it with Avari. Tozawa connects with a running knee and another shot for 1-2. Then Tozawa gets hyped up because Davari moves out of the way and clotheslines this. Tozawa through 2 count. Tozawa makes a comeback and with a bunch of offense, and Tozawa with the German suplex, and Tozawa goes on top and nails the big senton for the win. So he's switching from the Tozawa Tiger suplex. Now they're switching him to he's going on top with the big senton, and he looks pretty well, and this would carry over to 205 Live. Akira Tozawa won the match. This was just a filler match. Harry Davari lately is just seeming like he's been an enhancement talent, not really getting much of the spotlight. He's getting some good little promos with his Playboy gimmick that he has, but it seems like he's been lost in the shuffle a little bit on 205 Live, and so we have the cruiserweights to fill in on that match. Next we have Elias Sampson versus Dean Ambrose, and we have The Miz on commentary, which I felt was a good match overall. It wasn't for the Intercontinental. It was a non-title match and of course The Miz is providing commentary, telling you how much better he is than Dean Ambrose and how horrible a person that Dean Ambrose actually is. Is a good sequence match back and forth. Elias Sampson looks pretty good in this match. He got some heel heat, of course, not heel heat, but he got some boos from singing entrance music in the middle of the ring, which I thought was pretty hilarious. So it comes down to the last part, and they're talking about the stipulation of Extreme Rules of what Ambrose matches with The Miz at Extreme Rules. If Ambrose gets disqualified, that he loses the Intercontinental Championship, and that it's probably going to happen that The Miz is going to try to get him disqualified. And so what The Miz does is he runs down to the ring at the last part of the match, and he kicks as they're on the as both of the Miz as Elias Sampson and Dean Ambrose are on the mat. Miz runs down, gets in the ring, and he kicks Elias Sampson. Therefore, The Miz disqualifies Dean Ambrose, and Elias Sampson picks up a win. Ambrose was a little bit pissed at The Miz, chases The Miz and finally gets a hold of him. Then Elias Sampson comes back and gets Ambrose with his finisher, the swinging neckbreaker, which is the same finishing move as Cody Rhodes. But anyway, it's a good little finisher that he has in the ring. Backstage, we are given a little promo of Big Cass walking around upset. Enzo is laying out. Somebody has attacked him. No one knows who attacked him. Back from the break, medics are there, and Enzo said he didn't know who jumped him, and then turns and in the instance, Cass tells Angle that he better find out who did this before he does. Next, we get, as advertised, Finn Balor versus Carl Anderson, former members of the club, former co-founders of the club in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But this is WWE, so according to the WWE, not me, this really doesn't matter what happened in Japan. But they did say that they had worked together in Japan. But it was a good match back and forth. We could see that Balor was just... Anderson made Balor look great, which was his job in this match. You know, I really do not understand. Last week we had the match between Roman Reigns and Finn Balor. Finn Balor gets pinned. It makes no sense at all, especially going forward if Finn Balor ends up winning the five-way match at Extreme Rules. Then Balor begins to cut a promo and say how he's going to win his match and how he's going to win at Extreme Rules. And all of a sudden, here comes Paul Heyman. And he goes through the list of how others are going to be losing, but that how Finn Balor is the opponent that Brock Lesnar wants to face at Great Balls of Fire. Well, we'll get to see that. You know, I don't think that Finn Balor needs to face Brock Lesnar unless Finn Balor wins. You know, just saying being there in the match with being in the match with Brock Lesnar would be good for Finn Balor, but I don't think that Finn Balor needs any more hype. He is already over as a talent, and I would not have him lose to Brock Lesnar if that is the path that they're going to be doing, and which I don't think would be good. I think that it wouldn't be good for Finn Balor to lose to Brock Lesnar. I think that the only one of the 5 participants in this main event at Extreme Rules that could maintain momentum and wouldn't really do any harm to would be Seth Rollins. And that's who I would pick to win this match, because whoever faces Brock Lesnar in Dallas at Great Balls of Fire, I believe that they're going to lose. Maybe wrong, but it looks like that they would lose this match. So anyway, Paul Heyman gives Finn Balor all these what really just blows smoke up his ass, and I think it's mind games. But who knows? Maybe Brock Lesnar will show up at Extreme Rules and get involved in the 5-way match. It is not beyond this happening to help even the odds and help out Finn Balor to win. But we will see what actually takes place at Extreme Rules. It was a good segment, good promo. Paul Heyman, master promo. And one thing that Paul Heyman did say, he said when it comes to Extreme Rules, he knows a thing or two about Extreme Rules, which everyone knows that Paul Heyman is the founder of ECW and the Extreme Rules guru, which I think is a crying shame that it's got to this point now that of how watered down that Extreme Rules is. Let's go to Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks. This match was set up. This was supposed to be the blow-off match of this feud. Sasha Banks wins. Then she gets into a confrontation with Noam Dar in the middle of the ring as he comes to look after Alicia Fox. And he starts a little confrontation with Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks ends up slapping him. Alicia Fox retaliates, hits her from behind, and does a scissor kick on her, which it was a little bit of a botch. I mean, I think to one degree, I do believe that it was just a little bit of a botch here, because she didn't hit up around her shoulder. She ended up around her stomach area, around her mid-back area, and she didn't hit it quite right, but it looked good regardless. And I'm glad that that Alicia Fox is getting into a program here, which is good. That she's getting a little bit of limelight. I mean, everybody knows, Sasha Banks is on a completely different level, but this gives Sasha something to do while Alicia Fox, with Alicia Fox, while Bayley is in this feud with Alexa Bliss. It was a good little sequence. Next we have Kalisto and Apollo Crews. This led, it's good that they're including these guys, they're giving them some TV time, getting them on TV. I like that, but really, they could do more. Titus O'Neil is there, and I don't know where this is going. I don't know if they're trying to set up something with Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews to actually feud, but Kalisto, he ends up fighting and being in a match with Apollo Crews, and Kalisto gets the win, which is amazing. I thought that was pretty good. Next, we have a promo by Goldust, and I loved this promo. A little bit reminiscent of the old Goldust, and he says that the golden age is back, and there is no one in the WWE, there is no one in the current Raw roster that has as good in-ring psychology and does better mind games than Goldust. The original Goldust. If they let him go there, they're going to cut out all of the stuff that's not PG, of course. But I hope they give him a little bit, goes a little bit to that point, but not all the way there, and provides us some good matches on Goldust's last run in the WWE as he gets ready to ride off into the sunset. I believe that Goldust is fixing to retire here in a little while. Next, we're with Alexa Bliss. She cuts a promo, and it was relatively good little promo that she had. She sets up a match with Mickie James, and Mickie James sold in this match for her like a champ. And I love the way that I'm going to go ahead and cover this. I know it's happening a little bit later, but I'm going to go ahead and cover this, that she sold like a champ for Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss still maintains her heel heat, and it was great. We have Matt Hardy versus Sheamus. I'm glad that they're continuing to let the Hardys go over here on both of them, and Matt Hardy does win this match over Sheamus. It was a decent match. It was a decent match. It gave them some time to be showcased and build their feud. That the winner of this match got to pick the stipulation of the match that they would have at Extreme Rules, which I thought was good. So Matt gets the win, and the Hardys on the ramp with being interviewed says that what kind of match do they want, and they said that they was going to have a steel cage match, which is pretty cool. This will allow Jeff to jump off the cage. Don't know what's going to happen in this match. We know that the broken gimmick is being held hostage by Anthem Sports. But we'll see what happens in this match, if they continue to let the Hardys reign or they let Sheamus and Cesaro win. Whatever they decide is good with me. I'm glad to see the Hardys in WWE doing what they do best, and that they're happy where they are right now. The WWE Universe wants the broken gimmick, and we can only hope that the issue is resolved and we get the broken gimmick as soon as possible. Next, we have Tony Nese versus Austin Aries. It was a decent match. Tony Nese does look pretty awesome in his match. Austin Aries did go ahead and pick up the win with his submission match, the last Chancery, and Tony Nese tapped out. After the match, Austin Aries stands tall and stares out at Neville. We go to replays. Austin Aries hits the ramp and indicates that he's coming for the title as Nese and Neville look from the ring. Nese suddenly attacks Nese from behind and applies the Rings of Saturn. Austin looks from the ramp and applies Aries. Austin yells at Neville and challenges him to come try that on him. So they're continually building this. I just think at Extreme Rules that they got to let the title go to Austin Aries. I will say that the WWE on WrestleMania 33, the video DVD come out, and the match of Austin Aries, from all reports that I haven't purchased the DVD, but the DVD that the Austin Aries Neville match has been cut from that DVD, which I think that is really horrible that these guys weren't forever enshrined, even though they was on the kickoff show, that they weren't forever enshrined in the DVD. Next, we had, of course, Alexa Bliss's match. Alexa Bliss won, as I said before, and we come to the main event: Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe. It was an okay match. I think they were still giving away a little bit too much in this match by having it, but these guys are here. They're trying to build this pay-per-view. Is that they want to get to this, that it's every man for himself. And so we have every man for himself, that Roman Reigns goes for the Superman punch. Joe moves. Reigns bumps Rollins in the head. Rollins falls down, and Rollins asks Reigns what happened, and they have words. Wyatt pulls Reigns to the floor, hits the Sister Abigail on the floor as Joe applies a coquina clutch on Rollins. And so they're just continuing to build this 5-way match for Extreme Rules. Like I said, this was it was a decent show, for 3 hours, which it just, to me, sometimes is just way too long to watch. But it is what it is. WWE has 3 hours on Monday night, and we're going to see more build to Extreme Rules, which I think that is going to be an exciting main event for Extreme Rules. I look forward to it. Like I said, I don't think we really need Brock Lesnar. I mean, he's going to be more active, I guess. He's not even scheduled to appear on Raw until a month away, till the 25th of June. But we'll have Brock Lesnar then, and we may see a special appearance of Brock Lesnar on this pay-per-view. Who knows? Nothing has been rumored that I know of. These 5 guys that are in this match, that is the horses that Raw needs to carry forward. If it was up to me, I would even have Brock Lesnar there. I would have the title on one of these guys and have a 4-way match. But, this is what the decision of the WWE is, to have the title on Brock Lesnar. So we'll see what happens at Extreme Rules. And that was your Monday Night Raw. Overall, I would probably give this Monday Night Raw 2.5 stars. It was okay. Some said it was the worst Monday Night Raw that they've seen. But I think this Monday Night Raw was at least decent. Monday Night Raw continues to lose ratings. And SmackDown's ratings actually were up a little bit from last week. So, they're going to have to maybe change some things a little bit, I think, on Monday Night Raw. They have to keep that PG rating in order for their advertisers. And, at least I think Raw has overall been better than what it was before WrestleMania. And I think the reason why Raw the ratings have been down is because the Universal Championship has not been there. Now, contractually, I understand that Brock Lesnar is part-time, but like I said, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, the title should have switched to somebody. One of these 5 guys. Doesn't matter who it is. And one of these 5 guys, one of them 6 guys, I'll say, and throw Braun Strowman in that, though he's injured right now. I just feel that it would have been better for the show. It add more intrigue to the show, and it has hampered the show. That this is what has hampered the show, is that the Universal title has not been there. Really has hampered the show, and I think that that is why people are not involved with the show as much as they are. That is a wrap on Monday Night Raw. Remember, you can contact me at Real Guru Wrestle on Twitter, or you can check out my website at ultimateworldwrestling.com. Thank you, and thanks for tuning in.